On March 8, 2012, Oksana Makar was just 18 years old when she was viciously attacked. Oksana lived in Ukraine. On this day, she was out at a bar celebrating the national holiday, Women's Day, when she met two men who invited her over to another friend's apartment for some drinks. Oksana accepted, not knowing the fate that awaited her. When they arrived at the apartment, the three men ambushed Oksana. The three men all sexually assaulted her. When Oksana told the men she was going to report what they had done, she was strangled with a wire cable. Believing she was dead, the men took her to a nearby construction site. They dumped her in a ditch where they proceeded to light her on fire in hopes of getting rid of any DNA evidence. Oksana awoke after the men left and in unimaginable pain cried out for help. These cries went unheard for almost 10 hours until the following morning when a construction worker arrived on site and heard muffled cries and moans and found Oksana horribly burned. The construction worker alerted local authorities, who then rushed Oksana to the hospital. Miraculously, Oksana was holding on to life with all she had. Oksana had burns over 55% of her body and severely damaged lungs from inhaling the smoke and fire. In attempts to save her life, doctors amputated one of her arms and both of her feet to stop gangrene from spreading. While in the hospital, Oksana's mother took a video of her daughter showing her amputated arm and stating she wanted her attackers brought to justice. She is also heard saying, "I will live while I am alive." Sadly, after fighting for 2 weeks, Oksana succumbed to her injuries. With her death brought anger and outcries from the local community demanding justice. So who were the three men who attacked Oksana? The three men have been identified as Yevhen Kranoshok, Maxim Prysiazongnuk, Artem Pohashian. The identities of the attackers only fueled the anger of the community. Why, you might ask? This is because two of the men were well connected with the government. Artem was the son of a previous senior official in the district prosecutor's office, and Maxim was a lawyer in the Department of Culture for the city. All three men were arrested. However, only Yevhen, a man with a low-ranking job, was kept in custody, while Artem and Maxim were released on bail. After Oksana's passing, the community held protests showing their anger. These protests pressured the local authorities to once again arrest Artem and Maxim, this time holding them in custody. The courts found all three men guilty of sexually assaulting, strangling, and burning Oksana, causing her death. Yevhen was given life in prison. Maxim was given 15 years, and Artem was given 14 years. Oksana's lawyer stated they will appeal the ruling and fight for all three men to receive life in prison. Why did these three men commit such an awful crime? Did they think their connections to high-ranking officials would cause them to get away with it? If the community didn't protest, would these men ever be charged? I do hope the friends and family of Oksana get the justice they deserve. Judy Malinowski did what no other had done before. Judy testified at her own murder trial. Judy was a 31-year-old mother of two from Ohio. Judy married young and had two beautiful children with her then husband. Sadly, Judy became addicted to painkillers after a needed surgery caused by ovarian cancer. Her addiction started with painkillers and moved to harder substances. With her addiction, her marriage fell apart. Deciding to do better for her children, she entered rehab. She successfully completed her rehab program. She was a single mother, recently released from rehab. She was sober and looking to rebuild her life. Just as she was getting her feet back underneath her, she reconnected with an acquaintance by the name of Michael Slager. Judy and Michael's relationship was far from healthy, and he quickly dragged her back down. Michael was overbearing, physically abusive, toxic, and even supplied Judy with illegal substances. This derailed Judy's sober life, and she fell back into her old ways. Realizing the horrible relationship she was in and the downward spiral of her life, Judy decided to once again enter rehab. With this rehab, she could again become sober and leave the abusive relationship she had with Michael. Judy feared Michael and told her friends and family that if she ever tried to leave, he would kill her. Judy saw this as an opportunity to save herself. On August 2nd, 2015, Michael offered to give Judy a ride to rehab. On the way, the couple stopped at a Speedway gas station located in Ghana, Ohio. Judy and Michael were in a heated argument. What the argument was about is unclear. Judy, in the heat of the moment, threw what appears to be a beverage at Michael and stormed off. She walked to the back of the gas station and sat in a grass field. At this point, Michael returned to his vehicle and grabbed a red gas can. He followed Judy behind the building. He proceeded to empty the gas can over top Judy's head and light her on fire. Judy was instantly engulfed in flames. Judy screamed for help, to which Michael responded, "This is what I do to you." By the time the fire was out, she sustained burns to over 80% of her body. Her face had been so badly burnt, she was unrecognizable. Due to her severe injuries, doctors placed her in a medically induced coma, while authorities launched an investigation. When authorities questioned Michael, he stated it was an accident, that she had accidentally caught on fire when he was attempting to light her cigarette. Surveillance video proved that was a lie. When authorities looked into Michael, he had a long rap sheet, which gave a glimpse of the person he is. Past charges include domestic violence, assault, rape, endangering children, sexual battery, disorderly conduct, stalking, resisting arrest, failure to register as a sex offender, and obstructing official business. Authorities charged Michael with felony assault and aggravated arson. Judy remained in the hospital fighting for her life. She underwent over 40 surgeries and had to be resuscitated 8 times. Even with all this, Judy continued to fight for her life, determined to bring the horrible man who did this to her to justice. Michael's defense attorney did all he could to stop Judy from testifying against their client, knowing if she took the stand, anything she said could be used against Michael in this case and any other charges that may arise from this attack. Michael took the advice from his lawyers and pleaded no contest to the charges. This meant Judy could not testify against him. Michael was sentenced to 11 years in prison, the maximum amount allowed by law. Judy would go on to fight for 2 years while in hospice care. When it started to become clear Judy would not survive her extensive injuries, she did what no other had done. She made video statements of her attack, detailing the horrific assault, the pain she felt, the trauma she endured, and her current fight for her life, in hopes that no other woman would suffer at the hands of Michael Slager. Sadly, on June 27, 2017, Judy did pass from her injuries while Michael was serving his 11-year sentence, and this brought new charges against him: murder. The prosecutors were seeking the death penalty. Authorities fought so the videos created before Judy's passing were allowed to be used in the trial of Michael Siegler, while the defense tried everything possible to stop the tapes from being played. Thankfully, the judge did allow the videos to be played in court. For Judy's strength and determination, Judy's Law was signed into effect in 2017. Judy's Law is a legislation that imposes longer prison sentences on attackers who intentionally disfigure their victims by accelerants to set them on fire. On July 5th, 2018, Michael took a plea deal. In return for his confession, he would not receive the death penalty. Instead, he would serve life in prison without the possibility of parole. Judy has been laid to rest, while Michael will spend the rest of his life behind bars. Did Michael commit this horrible crime to stop Judy from leaving him? Is there anything that anyone could have done to stop this? I do hope the friends and family of Judy get the peace they deserve.